Hello, ghost hunters! If you've ever had trouble finding your ghost, this video is for you. Let's start with the easy way to find your ghost. For most of us, this requires using sound only. Tools can be used to confirm what we've heard, but for the most part, listening for doors or thrown items will lead us to our ghost.
Give me a sign.
As for thrown items, you won't hear teammates who pick up or move items inside the location, but you will hear them from the ghost. So avoid following this sound and instead listen for sounds more like this one. If you hear an item but you're unsure where, you can also determine based on the sound that you've heard. For example, if you hear what sounds like a plate or a fork, you can determine your ghost is likely in the kitchen or dining areas. More obvious sounds will include things like the car horn, a telephone ringing, and running water in a sink or a shower. So what if you've been inside the location for a bit, but not heard any sounds? When playing with friends, I typically suggest splitting up because ghosts sometimes only respond when players are alone. If you're in a smaller location, take time to drop useful tools at the door and head back to the van for more gear while a teammate attempts to get a response from the ghost. Even if you're playing with a full team in a small location, it's unlikely the ghost will have no interactions after some time has passed. So if you've not sussed out your ghost yet by other means, then you may want to start looking for items that are out of place. Photos that are knocked over, pictures that have dropped from the walls, shoes that are moved, cups that are out of place, can all be signs of where your ghost is that may have been missed at the time of the interaction. Sometimes ghost abilities can be misleading, like this one.
I heard that, but I don't know where it was. Give me a sign. It's right in here. Oh, no, maybe not. It sounds like it's... in here. That's what it sounds like. It is in here. Well, that's two very different areas. So is it possible this is the twins? And one of these two rooms is the real room?
At this point though, the ghost room may not be as important as this is a classic twins interaction. One way you can find your ghost is via teleported items. For example, if you find this teddy bear somewhere he shouldn't be, it's likely because the ghost teleported it. If you find a mannequin in an odd spot, you can determine the ghost moved it from its room. Find the room missing its mannequin, and you'll find your ghost. If you have a cursed item in your location, you can also use these to help you determine your ghost room. Keep in mind though that these items will drop your sanity and are very risky. The two easiest items to use would be the haunted mirror and the Ouija board. Both of these items are only useful though if you are familiar with the map. For example, if you're in Brownstone High School and the ghost reveals it's in classroom 26, this may be an unhelpful clue at the cost of 50% sanity drain. Likewise, if you're in a large location and use the voodoo doll, it is possible the interaction provided by pushing those pins may be missed. Teammates who aren't spread out through a location may never hear the humming ghost when using the spirit box. And while drawing tarot cards can be fun, you may end up drawing a death card or a hanged man before getting a devil or tower card that would provide you with a better hint at the ghost location. And finally, let's talk about tools. Many of you probably have a tool you prefer to use to identify your ghost haunted room or area. As long as you know how to use the tool, it's probably just as good as any tool that I could recommend to you. I often find players who love using the thermometer, but I personally find it to be inaccurate. Finding freezing temperatures that you can visually see will clue you into the ghost location, but this doesn't require a thermometer. My personal favorite tool is the EMF. Keep in mind that EMF is emitted from the interacted object and not the room or location itself. So if a ghost throws something, the item will give off EMF even if it's no longer in the ghost room. Some players likely prefer to search a location with a video camera, and when spotting ghost orbs, can determine they have found the ghost room as these will only appear where the ghost is haunting. The spirit box can also give a response only when near the ghost, so this may also be useful for narrowing down the ghost room. Even a UV light can be used to determine doors, light switches, or windows that have been interacted with by a ghost. If you're a more seasoned ghost hunter, then you may use the Parabolic Microphone to pinpoint your ghost in larger locations. Small readings below 0.5 may indicate the direction of the ghost. Consistent readings at 0.5 or higher are likely an indicator of the area the ghost is in. For most, but not all, of my hunts on the new Sunny Meadows map, the Paramic was helpful in finding the ghost room quickly, although on a couple of hunts it proved to be misleading. One trick I use on a regular basis when ghost hunting, especially on larger locations, is closing doors. When playing on a difficulty where doors will often start open, while wandering through looking for hints at the ghost-haunted area, I will close all doors I pass, so that if I have to make a second sweep through the location, finding an open door will indicate ghost activity. This has been the way I've found the ghost many times, but it only works if your teammates are also vigilant about closing doors. If you are playing on an easier difficulty or a custom difficulty where doors start closed, keep in mind that you do not have to be in the room with the ghost for it to hear you and respond. So asking for a sign in the hallway is just as effective as asking for a sign in the room. For this reason, in my example shown in this video, you often see me asking for a sign in the hallway. Also keep in mind that despite asking for the ghost to open a door, it may just interact with a door that is already open. So doors do not have to be closed for a ghost to move or open a door. One final tip for ghost hunters: beware of misleading evidence. When Phasmophobia was new, many players assumed creaky floors were an indicator of the ghost's presence, but they are not. These are simply ambient sounds to provide to the environment and do not indicate the location of the ghost. These can also include things like rustling leaves, branches snapping, screams in Sunny Meadows, weather sounds, the metallic ding sound in the prison, and others. Also, dead teammates can interact with items, so finding an item flying that does not produce EMF is simply a deceased teammate. Likewise, these teammates can also set off things like the motion sensors, so do not be misled by these. Do you have your own tips for finding the ghost room? Do you have a preferred tool when trying to locate the ghost? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, happy hunting.